my name is Kenneth Elliott, and this is my first developer diary for my new game Wagrrr. I just wanted to introduce it today and give people a basic rundown of what Wagrrr does, what it allows you to do. It is basically a new fun way for broadcasters, video game broadcasters, just people who like to broadcast and talk, to interact with their audience. What it is, it's a multiplayer game that viewers will hook to via a app on their telephone, the Wagrrr app. To show you what's going on, we'll take a look at the screen here. Let me get rid of my logo and the Wagrrr logo. Now what you see in the top of the screen is where it says Wagrrr 562602. That is the room code. What you will do is you will run Wagrrr on your computer if you're a host. It automatically connects to the server, gets a room code, and all you have to do is add it into your OBS software and turn on chroma key. It's very simple. I'll put out another video just showing how to set it up to make that a short video when the time comes to be released. But it's very simple if anybody who's ever added a window capture, game capture to OBS. Now what you're seeing on the right hand side of the screen where it says Kenneth 7 in a room code, in a room, that is a picture of the app. I've got it on screen right now so that you can see what it is, but broadcasters, that will not be on your screen. That is just what the viewer has on his app screen. Right now it will be coming out for Android. I have plans on iOS and also a Windows app for people who just want to use it on Windows to make little friendly wagers while their host is playing a game. Wagrrr is doggy themed, as you can tell, so we don't bet money, we bet an in-game economy called doggy treats. So you bet your doggy treats, and what you do with your doggy treats is you can purchase more and more expensive and complex emotes. Now right now a lot of my emotes are still pretty basic. I've been doing a lot of work on the engine, so to speak, of Wagrrr, but I've made it very simple, and in the future, even after release, you're going to start seeing bigger and better emotes. I'm going to have special emotes and super emotes, and you win the treats so that you can display these emotes on screen. Don't worry, host, you have control of the emotes, you have control of where they appear on your screen, you have control of whether people can even do it. If you're the host, I'm giving you complete control of the software. You run it however you want to run it. My only suggestion is keep your games honest. You are responsible for entering your final score. There's functions in Wagrrr for viewers and hosts to kind of monitor each other to make sure everybody's staying honest, since it is a betting game. But it's for fun and it's not real money. So, but it adds another layer to your broadcast. Now, Wagrrr is very simple. As you can see on the app, it says Kenneth 7. If I want to get in somebody's room, I put in any screen name. Deborah Ann's my wife. If I put this in and exit out and come back, the app remembers your name. But we're going to say Kenneth 7. That's what I use as screen name. Room code is 562602. If you watch the screen bottom right when I come in, it will say hello Kenneth 7. Yeah, there it is. It was behind the other stuff. But it gets a little hello Kenneth 7, let people know you've entered the room. Things are quick, they pop up on screen and they're gone. To give you hosts an idea of, you saw how that little host appeared. Your viewers will be able to do emotes. So let's do a heart, and you notice it's appended with my name, Kenneth 7. If you notice, there's a cooldown time so people can't spam your broadcast. And there's all kinds of little emotes that people can do. Let's do cry. Maybe you lost or got shot and your viewer is upset about it. So he can show on screen that his reaction to your gameplay and what's happening. Now, if you're curious as a host about these emotes, I'll show you. Let's pull this up. We'll go to options. On the bottom left, these are where all the emotes appear, where it says on, and off. All you have to do is toggle them off, and you can configure where you want emotes to appear. Wagrrr will remember it when you turn it off and turn it back on. so you don't have to worry about this. Also, if people come into your room as a host and they're using language you don't like, there is a language filter on it. I use the same one Google uses, their list, but people are very creative. But if they still get into your room with the word you don't like on your screen, very easily ban them. Just click on their name and it sends them over. It shows you the last 25 people that emoted on your screen. And if you want to give them a second chance later, you can unban them. Now, if you're worried they'll just go out, change their name, and come back in with something else, vulgar, don't worry about that. They can't do it. There's a possibility they can, but I've made it very difficult. I'm not going to go into whys because I don't want them trying to circumnavigate it. So basically, I just want to convey to you as a host, you do have control over keeping people using language you don't want out of your game. Now, let's get into a game of Wagrrr. I may cut out some of this for editing because I'm going to do a whole playthrough of a solo game, and if it gets a little long, I'll just click some stuff off. Okay, here it goes. Now, what happens during a game of Wagrrr is you as a host just simply start the wager, put it in progress. It's very simple for you to do. There are two ways for you to do it. The first off, if you notice on the right hand side of the screen on the Wagrrr app, it says host remote in the bottom right. You'll be able to control everything from your own phone if you want to do it that way and not alt tab out of your game. But if you got a beefy enough computer where you're playing in windowed mode and you can switch, you've got more than one monitor, you can have Wagrrr running on the other screen. It's really simple. All you have to do is, where you see Wagrrr, the logo at the top of the screen on your Wagrrr app on your running on Windows, you'll click on that. And as you'll see, you'll get the big Wagrrr stuff here. Don't worry about any of that right now. It's very simple to do it. We're going to select a game type. We're going to go Royale, 100 player solo. The Wagrrr open time, I'm going to say 3 minutes, which will give your viewers 180 seconds to make their bets. And then we'll hit start. And if you notice on the screen now, at the top, Wagrrr open is flashing with 174 seconds. It says click make wager claim now, and it shows the score prediction range. They have to bet within 1 and 50. You've got to make it to at least 50 for anybody to win any money. So now back on the app, I'm going to click make wager claim, and we're going to say I'm not so good at any of these games. I'm better at programming than playing, so I'm going to say I'm going to come in 25th place. And I'm going to put, well, let's say 100 on it. 100 of my doggy treats on it. So now, all I have to do is, I click confirm wager. It gives me the congratulations, it's confirmed. It shows me in the top left that 100 on 25 is in play right now. And of course, we still got another 130 seconds. I'm going to go on and get into the game here. And basically, while viewers are watching and waiting, they can be playing around, doing emotes, certain things. And I also have, like I say, special and super emotes coming, which are going to do more and more. Since I'm building this in a game IDE, I'm building it in Unity, these have collisions, so they're not like your regular emotes. They'll be able to interact with each other. And I have plans on adding to Wagrrr more and more to make these remotes and things more interesting. The base emotes are free. It won't cost your viewers anything, but special and super, I want to give them a way. If they're winning big and they're winning lots of treats, you got to give them something to do with it. So, and something that's fun, something other viewers will have to see. Ways to celebrate. You know, if you win a game, they may want to fill the edges of the screen with fireworks, or they may want to show appreciation for you as a host and go, you know, this guy's my favorite host, and stars all across the bottom of the screen. Super emotes that they can do that I have worked very hard to also be non-invasive. If you notice in Wagrrr, nothing is in the middle of your screen. It never will be. I'm staying to the edges. The farthest thing that encroaches in is the start of the wager and the ending with the information. So, let's get back to the screen here. And this guy's trying to hit me. But as we can see, we got 32 seconds left. It's going to pan out just about right. Yeah, my match is going to start in 30 seconds. So nobody will still be able to wager in the first few seconds of the game. Which, you know, either way, I have to live to be to better than 50 anyway. So if I die before 50, nobody gets paid nothing. But the good thing about it is I bet on 25. Wager pays out in ranges. It pays out in 21 to 30. So as long as I die anywhere from 21 to 30, my viewers will get a 3-to-1 payout for whatever they bet. Normally the host doesn't bet on himself, but I'm doing this to demo the software so that you can see what's going on. I mean, he can if he wants to, but really this is for fun and interaction, not anything serious. So, you know, the idea as a host is you want to retain viewers. So play fair, put your scores in fair, and make sure everybody has a good time. Alright, here we go. Also, just winning or as a viewer getting the right score isn't the only way to win. There's a random number called a big dog number. If you get that, that pays out even more than if the host came in first place. Host comes in first place on a Battle Royale 100, so to speak. It's going to pay out 5 to 1. If you luck up and get the big dog number, it's going to pay out 7 to 1. If the big dog random number, the host and the viewer all hit the same number, it's called a triple big dog number. The host could come in 41st place. If all 3 of those numbers were the same, it's a 10 to 1 payout. But the host has to put in his honest score at the end to make sure people fairly get their payouts. And as a viewer, I've built in functions that you can use. It's very easy. I'll show you later in the game that if you see somebody not putting in the right score, you can flag them so that you don't accidentally end up in their games again. If you don't like the way a host is running a game, you can flag it so to make sure you don't have to come back. And hosts, like I showed, you can ban people you don't think are behaving the way you want in your game. You run the game, host. It's your game. I program the software, but I'm going to give you as much control as absolutely possible. And it doesn't look like anybody's around these buildings, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to show you another function of it here in just a second, because your viewers can do another thing during the game. Just like in any game where you bet, people can make raises. Like I say, I'm just trying to stay alive to a certain amount. I'm trying more to demonstrate wager than actually win. So I want to show you the reaction function. The reaction function is really just raises. So here I go. I'm going to run for the woods so I can show you the reactions. Just want to find a good way to hide. If you see this video cut out some, it's because I'm just editing it for time. I know in this black outfit this girl's wearing, I'm standing out against this snow like crazy. Just want to find me a deep thing of grass to lay in when nobody can see me. And I'll show you something cool. Alright, we're going to hide out here. Now, as you can see, since the wager has started, up by wager 562,602 in the top of the screen, you will also see, let me turn where you can see a little better, there's 2 number 1s and a 100. Well, I bet on the game, and I bet 100 treats. So it's showing that right now there's 100 treats riding on this game. If it had more people had bet, you would see the total amount of treats riding on the game. The top number 1 is how many people have made wagers. So if somebody else bet 100, it would say 2 and then 100. So it shows you how much money is riding on the game. Now, there's a number 1 right there. Let me show you what that does. It's called a reaction modifier. During the game, your viewers can raise the modifier. In other words, at the end of the game, if you got a 5 to 1 payout, it would then again be multiplied by that multiplier. So let's raise it. I just raised by 25. I'm going to do another raise by 25. You'll see on the screen it says 25 Kenneth. It shows that a player's making raises. It shows who's doing it. And I'm going to kick it all the way. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to go all the way to 2. So I have spent 100 of my treats to now make the reaction modifier 2 so that at the end it'll pay out double. Now, depending on whether or not it's worth it to you to do this depends on how much money you've got riding on the game. You'll also be watching how well the host is doing in the game. You could spend a lot of money on reactions because your host is getting closer and closer to the number you bet on, and you're thinking, okay, I'm thinking he's going to make it to number 1. Say you bet number 1. I'm thinking he's going to bet to number 1. 1 is not in a range. If you bet number 1, he's got to hit number 1. A 4-to-1 payout scales from 2 to 10, 11 to 20, and the payouts get longer and longer and less as it goes out to 50. But you could think he's going to do well, and you say, well, I'm going to start hitting hundreds. All right? And if you see, the reaction multiplier is still going up. But as you also see, it does less and less every time. It costs more every rotation to raise the reaction multiplier again. So now we're doing hundreds, but it's doing smaller and smaller slivers. But if you've got a bunch of different people playing, they're betting that their number is going to come up, that the host is going to come in their range. But the host may rally, and he may overshoot the range. He may live on more than they think, or he may die sooner than they think. Basically, what I'm getting to is you got to be careful with your raises, because you could be just making the reaction modifier bigger and bigger, and it just ends up helping somebody else, not yourself. It's basically the same concept as a raise in a game of poker. Okay, let's see. I am in the circle, and basically what I want to do is, since I bet 25, as a host, you wouldn't be trying to come in anything. You're trying to come in number 1 all the time. But because I want to show you what the win screen looks like, I'm just trying to lay low. Right now, there's still a lot of graphical improvements to be done to the game, Wagrrr. There's more emotes to be added, more special emotes and super emotes. But the underlying engine of Wagrrr is done. The networking is done. A lot of things are just completely done already. And something that I can show you too, thing I like, if you're a host, say you're a viewer, and the host at the end puts in a score that is not his honest score. And you're an honest guy, you want honest games to be run. You can always just add host to dishonest hosts. I'm not going to read all that. Say yes, go out, and when you come back into his room, we get a dishonest host button. So it warns us that this host is somebody that we didn't think was running a fair game last time. But you can always either continue on into the room, exit the room, or if you want to give the guy another chance, you can remove the host. Now as I exit, come back, he's clear. And see, right now the game's in progress. If I try to claim the game, it's going to tell me, settle down, that game is still in progress. Claims can only be made when the game is over. So we're waiting for the game to be over, and while the game's going on, you see your host playing. You like what he's doing, you're happy. You throw some hearts his way. There you are, in the top right of the screen, top left up there. There are cooldown amounts to keep people from spamming away. The reason you can't see the heart right now is it's appearing behind the app thing. If I do enough, it'll appear. There it comes. Normally the app wouldn't be there. Alright. I've went to a lot of trouble to make sure that Wagrrr is very low CPU usage and very low bandwidth usage for your hosts. I'll give you an idea right now. Wagrrr, while running, is using 1.1% of my CPU and pretty much no bandwidth as long as nobody's sending nothing. I've made it very economical because I know as a host you're running the game, you're running in code and software, you're broadcasting. Wagrrr has to take almost no resources, so I went to great pains to make sure it is a very low resource 2D game. Where are we at? 50. Like I said, if you see any cuts out, I'll be editing down for time. because I want to show you a win screen. Okay, let's start making our way in here. See, as I get closer and closer to the range that I bet in, that would be the time that people would start making reactions. In other words, raises, to hopefully double and triple and quadruple their win amount. Of course, if I die right now, there is still a chance that viewers could come out. Right now, I'm not in that 21 to 30 range that I need to be in since I bet on 25. But if I die right now and the big dog number is 25, that's still a 7x payout to the viewer, even though I die in the 40s. Also, I'm at 48 plates right now because there's 47 other people alive. If the safe dog number is 25, even if I die right now, all your treats are returned to me as a viewer. All my treats would be returned because I'm in the safe spot. So that's another reason why it's important for hosts to be honest. It isn't just important to come in number one or to be the highest. Being a good honest host can actually win your viewers even more treats than coming in number one. And of course the idea is there would be more than one person having bets up. Oh man, that got me. Oh well. So here's the way we end the game as a host. I came in 42nd place. So what is the number it's given me up here? 42nd. So now I can either go to my host remote and put it in, but to be able to show everybody what's going on, all I have to do is click on wager, enter final score, make sure I put in 42, be an honest host, finalize the score. So now what we see is final score, host entered 42, big dog was 6, safe dog was 3, so I'm not lucky. Neither one of those are 25. It's not going to benefit me. But to show you what would normally happen, if I had a 1 or I was checking against the safe dog or the top dog, it's very simple. You just go into make wager claim. You hit claim wager on the app. It figures it out automatically. And it would tell us, oh, it's saying I'm a winner. Alright, what would happen now is I would simply go in to make wager claim. I would hit claim wager and it would show me the results of the wager. It would show me if I lucked up, had the safe dog spot, had the big dog number. And if I actually won and got within the range that I was supposed to be in, it would tally up my total treats won and add them to my main totals up here. But anyway, that is where I am at right now on wager. The underlying engine is done. I'm doing a lot of bug smashing right now, going back through and finding anything that looks like it's not tallying up right or acting the way I want it to. I have graphical improvements to be made. Even after release, I'm planning on adding a lot more emotes, some game variants, and just doing some things to help hosts out, like a graphical tally for, as you see it says answers here, which is nothing here, but like a host can ask a question, as people answer yes and no's, it might have it'll have a little pie chart up on the screen, a pie symbol that tallies those answers up, so a host can get a better read of how his viewers are answering. So I want to work in some host tools too. But I appreciate you looking at my first developer diary, taking time to watch this, and I'll have another one out soon, and hopefully Wagrrr itself should be out fairly soon. Thank you for watching.